Fincen. And Fincen is it's the Fincen's beneficial ownership information sort of mandate. Fincen stands for the government's, it is at fincen.gov, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. And all of this starts...
just the type of entity I want to be associated with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If I ever got a letter from something that was called Fincen, I would be panicked. Like, oh my gosh, like what did I do that caused this? And did I know that I did it?
Yeah,
right?
Did you know you're a criminal? Right.
Did I? Yeah. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Are you a criminal? That's it. Right. So here's the thing. This started on January 1st, 2024. And if your company existed prior to that date, you have until January 1st of 2025, so almost a year, to file with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Unit. And we almost all of us are going to have to do this. If you run a nonprofit, maybe not. If you run a publicly traded company, almost certainly not. But what they want is beneficial ownership information for your LLC or, Subchapter S Corp or, your C Corp, even assuming it's not publicly traded. Right. They want this. So this is very similar to what your bank, every bank now requires for the KYC, the know your customer things, right? Where they want to know who owns more than 25% of your LLC. Now, the thing, and all of this sort of makes sense when you read their explanation, which is they want to make sure that, it's to help stop money laundering and all the same reasons that the banks want this information. And the banks don't actually want it. They are mandated to collect it. It's really what it is. I get it. Yeah, right. Yeah. And so like all of this makes sense to me. And I looked through some of it and it doesn't seem like it's overly burdensome reporting other than it's yet another thing you got to send in. But the part that's weird to me is, isn't this already on our tax returns? Like as part of the K1s and like when you file the 1065 form for a partnership, like all of the owners, whether they're 25% or 1%, are listed on there.
Yeah.
And so I don't get it. Like,
I don't get it either. And now if you open or start a new entity after January 1st, 2024, am I right in that they're going to capture all this information in some new system when you start an LLC, this kind of thing? I
believe that's right. They will give you, they said if you already have a company in existence, you have a year essentially, to fill this out. If your company comes into existence after this point in time, sometime in 2024 or later, then I think they will give you they'll send you a notice and tell you you're on a 30-day clock or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, there are just tens of millions of entities, LLCs and things that are going to be out of compliance with this, right? I mean, it's...
Well, I mean, I am at the moment that this, that started, but of course we have the grace period of a year.
Of a year. So I wonder if they, and I have that same question. Why can't they access that information already without having us have to go up and file some kind of thing? And as we're recording this, that filing isn't available because we're recording a little early due to the holiday. But by the time you listen to this, you'll be able to go. It's Fincen, FINCEN.gov.
Yeah. And so what I think is we will each as individuals have to go and register with this system. So this is the difference. If you are a member of an LLC, you have to go as yourself and get a Fincen ID. Then the LLC attaches to. Okay. And if you are, so I'm starting to understand this as I'm digging in, and I'm hoping you folks, somebody out there must understand this better than us, because that if that's not the case, then that would surprise me. But but the idea is they want to make sure they can ferret out people who are using shell corporations to hide the actual ownership of a company or other entity, so that because that's the path that a lot of money laundering uses, right? Is you've got layers and layers of shell corporations. So the idea here is that if you are a member of an LLC as an individual, you go and register yourself as an individual, and then that ID number attaches to your LLC. If you are a company that is a member of an LLC, right? Like we could, it could be that my Dave the Nerd LLC owns my shares of our Business Brain LLC. It's not Business Brain LLC, but it could be that way. It's actually not, but it doesn't matter.
Right.
And so that company would then need to register for a Fincen ID. But I would, if I owned all the shares of the Dave the Nerd LLC, I would have to, so they can easily in a database trace it back, because right now on our tax returns, there's no
connection.
There's no connection. It's like, yes, everything's listed, but you might have to go through 14 layers.
They do it. Don't you think they should do it for like companies that are, I don't know, $1 million, $5 million, I don't know, $3 million or more in revenue? Or you think it doesn't matter? They could hide it with all this different stuff.
I mean, I think if they did that, then what you would do is start a new company
every time you hit that number.
Every time you hit that threshold. Yeah. So this is their way of, they probably asked that question, Shannon. Would be my guess.
Probably.
Yeah.
Smarter. Yeah. I mean, I don't like to be associated with any government entity at all.
No.
To me, this is one more burden that I've got to go up and I'm responsible for doing it, or I'm breaking the law, so to speak.
Yes.
And it's just one more burden on small business owners that have to keep track of a mountain of paperwork that I guarantee you I am perpetually out of compliance with.
Yes.
And so, but I guess if you're starting a new entity, then it makes sense because it just becomes part of the process.
It's just the process. Yeah. And my guess is once we I have 4 LLCs, 5, something like that, whatever.
Same.
So I'm going to have to go and register myself, obviously. I'm going to need to make sure my partners register themselves. So Shannon, consider this your, first request.
Thank you.
Yep.
I get my 1099. So.
Yeah, exactly. But then hopefully after the first year of this, the onboarding, if you will, it just becomes, that check the box. Is it the same? Yep, it's the same. Okay, great. You're done. Hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this is actually what they're saying on the surface it is. Yeah. And now I know how databases work, and I know how human nature is. And once we have data, we use it for different reasons than we initially said, and perhaps even initially thought we would. Yeah. Right? So I don't like that this database is going to exist. I don't do any money laundering.
Correct.
I'm wondering if somehow this will make getting a bank account easier. If all of this stuff, could I say, oh yeah, here's the, tax ID of our business. They check it with the government. The government says, yep, that business is totally in compliance. And now the bank's done. They don't have to do this. That won't happen.
Yeah.
By the way. Efficiency is not a thing, but
they have an interesting flow chart, but that kind of walks you through whether or not you are what they're calling a domestic reporting company.
Yes. It's going to be most of us.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Well,
fascinating though.
It is fascinating, and I'd certainly like to learn more. Those of you who are in this kind of